I'll say that. Very, very cream of the crop in here. We'll go with that black guy right there. All right. All right. And then we'll go with the white guy over there. All right. Yeah. And then, Clue, do you want to judge? Which is perfect why you should judge, because she might get very East German with her scores. Because we're going to get Esma to sacrifice. So it's a treat. It's a treat. So we got our judges. Judges, for those of you who are not familiar with the judging process, these poets are going to come up here and give you 3 minutes and 10 seconds of their lives, and you're going to judge them. You're going to score them from scores that go as low as a 0.0, meaning that poem is terrible. Never, ever do poetry again. I hope you get COVID in your pen so you can write that. Or all the way up to a fantastic 10, meaning that is the greatest poem in the world. You have COVID in your pen because you write sick shit, son. No. Okay, so, but it's still 10. It's really great. Let's say you have The Cure in your pen. Does that work? Does that feel a little bit better? It doesn't matter. It was still stupid. So all the way up to a 10, but use the decimal points and everything in between, like an 8.9, 7.4. But these poems, you will judge them all based on how these poems make you feel inside as a human being, all right? So be not swayed by those who are going to boo you when your scores do not sound like they want them to, because crowd, when we hear a score that we do not like, what are we going to do? That's right. Boo, that is an echoing boo from just some few people. You guys are harboring a lot of hate. All the way up, when we hear scores that we do love, what are we going to do? Yes, we're going to cheer. So we're going to cheer for your scores. But judges, be not swayed by the boos and cheers, because they do not sway you. You are the king, the alpha of judging, all right? So that's what's going to happen. We've got a fantastic lineup of poets. We've got clap and cheer when you hear their names. We got a poet named Superman. We got Jordan Bailey. We got Aldair and Mr. Curtis Lavon. So with that being said, I think we're ready to get this thing popping. Put your hands together for Miss Nkira Oshun. Very good. Shouts out to everybody out there in the virtual world. I think we have a donation link. I'm not sure what it is right now. I've been flashing through things. But for those people in the building, we have a donation box all the way in the back there. So you can drop your hundreds and your 50s in there because, you know, it's just play money for you. You don't really need that money. So go ahead and drop it in our donation box. It'll go a long way for us. But in the meantime, in between time, make sure you follow us, SlamCharlotte, on the Instagram and on the Twitter and on the Facebook. That's right. I put the in front of everything because I am over 35. So here we go. I think we're ready to slam. Are you ready for a slam to go down? Let me hear you say, yeah. No, because we have to have a sacrifice. Blood must be spilled in order for this thing to get started and popped off. And our sacrifice tonight, never seen her rock this stage, but she finna do so. Y'all put your hands together for Esma.
Everybody listen. Put your hands up. Don't make any sudden movements exactly what you think it is. Just do as I say and we all go home in one piece. Put everything of value in the bag. Don't look at me like that. When they ask me what I want to be when I grow up, here was not my answer. Like any other kid, I was told this world my playground. But this is bully named America, and she keeps pushing me around. So yeah, put your wallet in the bag. Watch this too. I said, don't look at me as in your bedtime story. They told me I'm supposed to make reality of the places I go when I fall asleep. But every day my eyes open for business. I know I'm not the CEO of his body. And I see my self-worth depreciate, and I don't know how much longer I can afford the cost of living. See, when your life is tied to numbers, survival hangs in the balance, and I was never direct deposited a chance. So now I got trust issues and a bad relationship with banks. Thought I found me a safe space. They loaned me a marriage, now it's still debt. Do its part, convinced me it'd be cheating to invest in myself, so I work from the ground up and get dirt pay. Got me doing graveyard shifts, praying I see dead presidents, doing maximum work for minimum wage, and I don't know how it will all work out. I've been bench pressing bills and expectations, but my funds, no, my hope strong enough to keep the lights on, to keep the struggle out. I said, don't look at me like that. Like this couldn't be you and my shoes. Don't you know they got barcodes in our souls and selling it to the highest bidder? Everything is televised, but don't you see the whole world shaking between commercial breaks? A baby boomed earthquake that's not our fault to fix, but have you ever wondered if hurt people, what do broke people do? This system does not only have me broke, it has me broke in, holds every piece of me for ransom. Everybody, are you listening? It's not what you think it is. I'm just tired of putting my hands up. I said, don't look at me like that. I'm tired of growing older and not happier. I don't know if it ever feels like if I don't know freedom. There's a difference between wanting the sky and being chained to it, between having something to hold on to and holding on for dear life. So yeah, put all that financial stability in a bag, a tomorrow that don't look like yesterday, everything of value now.
All right, judges, you're flipping through those scorecards. You're thinking it over. And then I'll say, judges, what say you? And then you hold up your scorecards. So you're thinking it through. Judges, what say you? And the scores go up. I see one score. There's two. And we're waiting on the third. Hey, from lowest to high, there's a 7.3. There's an 8.5. Then there's a 10. Normally we'd have 5 judges. We'd take the top score and the low score and get rid of those and add the 3 in the middle. But that we only have 3, we'll just add the 3. And we have a score of 25.8. Give it up for the poet. Always clap for the poet. Never mind that nigga on score. Keep that energy going for your first poet on the microphone, a poet named Superman.
When my father found out I was a poet, he said, that's cool. Maybe you'll put out a book or something. When I told him I wanted to do more, he said, yeah, but there's not really any money in it. Just keep it as a hobby. When I told him that I was going to be full-time soon, he said, that whole starving artist shit ain't cool. He was right. Even though things are better now, this lifestyle hasn't always been cool. I've definitely made some questionable calls, and it was always poetry that picked up the other line. I've chosen shows over shifts before, rhetoric over relationships, phonics over family and friends. I even wondered what I was going to write over what I was going to eat before. I still do some of these things now, just more moderately. Not because I want to please people, but because I got tired of starving myself. Just because I should sacrifice something doesn't mean that I should sacrifice everything, right? That's what I did. See, I was so focused on feeding my art that I left myself with nothing to eat, and I didn't notice it until I was actually physically hungry, until I realized that I couldn't consume the pages of my notebooks until my stomach growled for more than just stanzas. What's the point of my poetry saving everyone if I don't save myself? How can my art build an arc that I'm physically unable to steer in storms? Why wish my purpose built me a home when I lost the one I had before? I can't expect to tour my poems if I immobilize myself. Thank God for the couches, air mattresses, and floors that I slept on. Hallelujah for having hope and not hoisting hype. Ironically, my hunger helped me to not starve myself of sustenance, so no, being a starving artist ain't cool, but I'll be damned if it ain't fulfilling. I know I need a home, I know I need love, and I definitely need to eat more, but I still gotta stay hungry. See, I can't lose what I lost again, and if this life has brought me out of hell, I'll make sure that I don't lead myself back. I will break my back so that I'm unable to move back there again. Complacency can't coexist with consistency. Unless I'm complacent with being consistent in the evolution of my creativity, I will do this to the death of me. My purpose doesn't just affect me, but everyone around me, and I can't fulfill God's promise if I don't feed my body. So now it's time to feast. Say that shit, poet. Talk that talk, poet. Walk that walk, poet. Poem them poems, poet. Love, poet. Learn, poet. Grow, poet. Be poet. Eat, poet. Eat, poet. Eat so your metabolism can help you set the weight of this world. But in order to do that, you got to stay hungry. You got to be a starving artist.
All right. Judges are working it out. Shout out to our tech/COVID safety team, like SWAT. The SWAT of safety and teching it out. All right. Judges, what you got? I see one score. There's 2, there's 3, there's 4. From lowest to high, there's an 8.2. Then there's an 8.9 and another 8.9 for the poet. You can clap for the judging right now. 26 even for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Keep your hands going for your next part on the microphone, Mr. Jordan Bailey.
I am a well of unnecessary advice to the kids I mentor. By unnecessary, I mean they shouldn't necessarily get their advice from me. Sometimes I think they see me as the other side of all the mistakes they have yet to make. You know, the anyhow praise, the look like, and the been through, all stockpiled into a fountain of black boy idioms. Example, whenever a kid is going through a breakup, I tell them it's okay to mourn the dead thing. And which usually gets met by some resistance like, ain't nobody dead, he just dead to me, or what do you even be talking about, Jordan? And I say, look, it's okay to mourn what was while giving life to what is and rejoicing in what will be. Fun fact, I never take my own advice, especially here. See, the dead thing be my passion or my light, or me lately. Everything I write sounds sugar-coated hypocrisy. I tried to write this poem about my funeral, and I couldn't finish it. Then I convinced myself that I must have missed it when it actually happened. I think the pen bled the dead thing onto the page. The corpse corroded itself onto the stage into a stockpile of oxymoronic bones, like what you know of a 4-hour praise dance when you still ask God to show his face, or how you speak of martyrs like the cop ain't let you drive home alive, or what's poetry over points when all you know is slam. Fun facts, I lie to myself still about my progression, my writing, about whose fault it is the poem didn't do well. I see writer's block as depression's way of reminding me, don't subject the audience to the same things my baby poets take as gospel. I tell Courtney she could be a real problem if she just apply herself. Then I stay in bed all day until the sun decides to leave me alone. I tell Dax that this poetry shit is pretty easy if he just relax, then struggle through the same stanzas for 4 months straight. The night Kaylin called me to talk her out of taking her own life, I was finishing my own suicide note. I think it went, Kaylin, when the body dies, do you think it remembers? Do you think it remembers mistakes and losses and ghosts and hurting and being a body? Do you think the body remembers dying? Remembers what died first? I don't remember what died inside of me, but I mourn it. And I can't give life to anything else, like maybe I am the dead thing or what's killing me inside.
And normally this room is full of art top to bottom and from the walls, but it is still kind of really cool with just the lights in here and the white walls. I feel like we should be shooting some sort of 90s video or something like that. We'll work it out. Judges, what say you? I got one score. There's the second. They're waiting on the third from Malchi. Do, 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 do. Where's Malchi? All right. From lowest to high, I do see an 8.9. I see a 9. And a 9.2 for the poet. I guess 27.1 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Keep that energy up for your next poet all day.
Hey everyone, I have a bun on my head. Is that the top or the bottom, or the beginning or the end, or a piece of what is happening? I don't know what it is, I don't label it as such, I just call it what it is and what it isn't. All that it can and cannot be. All that I am and all that I am not. I tell you one thing, I know the truth and I know prosperity. I know wealth and I know pleasure given. I know forsakenness and I know depression, and I know it so well that I can tell you this. I am the greatest piece that ever happened, and I am the worst thing that's not yet to come. And I tell you that I am more than just someone and something. I am hatred. And I am self-blood, and I am anxiety, and I am suicide, and I am everything in between. For I hate myself more than anything that you could hate well. I hate myself more than Alfred hated the Jews. I hated myself more than anything that you could ever tie in your shoes. I hate myself more than anything that you could tie in the noose. I hate myself, and I hate myself too well. I hate myself so much so that I wrote this, and I didn't write it at all. I floated out the top of my brain. I wrote it out the top of my pain. I wrote it, and I wrote it looking into your eyes, and I wrote it so that you would look at me, and you would see the skies. That you wouldn't just see the skies, that you would see the skies. That you would see the skies in my eyes, that you would see the skies in this guy. And more than just telling you that I am the guy, I would call you my guy and my friend. More than my friend and my kin, I would call you something and something. I would call you someone and some kin. I would call you all that you are and cannot be. But I would never once tell you that you cannot be me, because you are beautifully you, and I can see it so clearly. So tell me why, oh why do I hate me? Tell me why, oh why am I my own envy? Why, oh why am I my own pity? For if not my God's envy, and for no God at all, I would tear this place down. I would showcase what pain is, and I would do it so perfectly. This may be the end of me, and today marks my life's greatest catastrophe. I have no prize, no bounty, nor trophy, and I leave my final words for the few left in my world. Keep calm and move on. Hold fast and hold strong. Stand tall and live on. With will and with might. With strength and with pride. In heart and with love. Look forward and stay true. Be beautiful and be you. Value emotions, keep understanding. In honor and in vain. Through hardship and deep pain. Conquer all and distribute everything. In anxiety, keep breathing. And forget me when you're ready. Embark for the future when you're steady. Enjoy what comes next. And only together will you prosper. Seize and move onward. Thank you.
All right. Listen, we're almost into our second round. Judges, you're thinking it over. What's up, lovely? How you doing? You look like you're ready for Assassin's Creed. I just want everybody to understand. I thought some of us were doomed when you were like, well, I don't make it into the next part of the level. All right, judges, what say you? I got 1 score. There goes 2 scores. Looking for the 3rd score. All right, from the lowest to high, I've got a 5. Then I've got a 7.2 and a 7.3. Give it up for the poet always, though. Fuck them scores. 19.5 for the poet. Always clap for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Keep that energy going for your last poet in the first round, Mr. Curtis Lavon.
Welcome, class of Generation X to the millennials. Thank you for your attendance. Except in this seminar, we won't call names. You've all paid your hard-earned tax dollar. Remember, all numbers matter. Today, I'll be your babysitter. I'm a teacher, Curtis Levon, and we'll be going over the lesson of American education, which for a skin like mine is likewise to the prison pipeline. But we gonna tell your parents you here learning. What is here? Here is school, an institution for training children, but without the virtual Zoom filter, it looks like crash course to conformity, raise hand, stay in line, regurgitate this, digest that, digest the whole narrative about your skin color when, brother, we only gonna provide you half the facts. We'll be told trinomials, but not taxes, because capitalism requires that you owe us. You'll be shown the Olympic medal fist of a black man being lifted on the Olympic medal throne, but they will leave out that he was stripped of his medals the next day and sent back home. How does it feel to be more cattle than child? To know that within the herd you are not heard, so, because the parents are too tired to listen, too busy clocking in, giving our kids everything they never had, and what's sad is they only want your time. Times ain't changed. In Carolina, 42% of schools are financially disadvantaged, and the state be like, oh well, Independence High School will never get the funding of an Audrey Kell. Translation, if you come from poor and we teach you poor, we can keep you poor. It's like Brown versus the Board of Educational Lottery. Demographic is the new Jim Crow, and this keeps you in the box. Remember, no child left behind. LeVar Ball pulled star basketball player's son out of high school to play pros overseas. ESPN debates good or bad parenting for the next 3 days. Sometimes I wish Stephen A. will push back on some of those opinions, like his hairline. I can't stand for somebody who ain't had none to tell me how to raise my kid. My first grade daughter came home with anxiety about a one-day, one-shot, 2-hour test to assess her knowledge. That moment never left me. Her academic identity was established by a standardized score. Something is wrong. We're in one of the richest countries in the world, ranked 31st in literacy and 27th in math efficiency, but managed to be first in school shootings. And what's triggering is that the school system is not just broken, it's outdated, and it's gonna take more than a democratic election to save it. It takes you, yeah, you, somebody's uncle, mother, sister, cousin, father. Just a small gesture can go farther than what they get from the next social media influencer they follow. Tell them I love you. In a world where you can be anything, choose to be yourself. Nobody ever changed the world by doing what the world told it to, so do your homework. Class dismissed.
All right, it's me. Judges, you're thinking that thing on over. Judges, what say you? There's 1 score, there's 2 scores, and 4. From lowest to high, there is a 9.4. There's a 9.5 and a 9.8 for the poet. That gives us a score of 28.7. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. And real quick, that was the end of our first round. Give it up for our first round. 4 amazing poets. Real quick, let's meet our judges. Judges, where are you from and what do you do? We'll start with you, young man. Okay. All right. Oh, that sounds interesting. Is that on all streaming platforms? Oh, all right. So it's Poet Up. Can they just follow you on Instagram? All right. This sounds amazing, sir. That sounds like an amazing fucking podcast. I should. Yes, you young man right here. Oh, nice. And what brought you down here? God damn it, bless you. I realize that entire sentence is contradictory to itself. No. Listen, when I asked him, he said he's never been here before. I'm like, you are the perfect judge, because you don't know anyone or anything about what's about to happen, so you can judge this off a raw experience. That's great. Thank you. What's your name? Tommy Martin. I thought of Tommy and Martin from Martin, so that's exactly that. So I'm never going to forget your name. Thank you, Tommy. And yes, sir, young man. Crazy thing was he was like, I know you. And I'm like, I feel like, I feel like I know you too. Known him since, when was that, Khalil? You were like 5, 6? Yeah, 5 or 6 years old. And I was 14. I was just a young man coming up in the world trying to guide the youth. No, it is so amazing to see you as an adult, because I always remembered the most of you guys were just children. And so to see you as adults, I'm like, yeah, that's supposed to fucking happen. You're supposed to grow up. But to grow up and be someone amazing and doing something creative in the city and keeping it here, because you could have went anywhere in the world and probably will go everywhere in the world, but I'm so glad that you're still here doing creative shit. So thank you so much, Khalil, for being here. Thank you, Tommy Martin. Sir, with the podcast. All right. I think we're ready to get into our second round. Are you ready for your second round? Let me hear you say, oh, yeah. Second round, you're going to see Curtis LeVon, Jordan Bailey, a poet named Superman, and Aldair. So coming up right now, give it up for Curtis LeVon.
There's nothing more desirable in this world than a man who plays video games. Said one woman ever, my mother. She married a new guy that finds the time to pause the game to text her back, where her insecurities are protected by an artillery of affirmations fired by high caliber actions that target the fact that she's his Call of Duty. Usually, that's his favorite game. And when I think back to my past, there was a time when me and my dad would do the same, except it was Halo. Now, I don't know if y'all ever played before, but it's first-person shooter, automatic weapons, melee, tag, deathmatch, and when you respawn, you come back to life. See, Mama always said I was her angel. The day my dad abandoned his campaign as husband, his kind soul left the console in an empty game case. Checkpoint that day, as I have been searching for my Halo ever since. Let's rewind back to 1989. I am yet to be born. Mom and Dad meet at the arcade where all day he is convincing her to abort mission, and I learned a black boy must accept that the death match begins before you even touch the soil. What is a bundle of joy? To him, it is a joystick with an umbilical cord to control my mother's motions. Let's fast forward to the day I turned 7. Too young to understand intimacy, but old enough to know I don't want the love that my parents show. I never seen them kiss or hug or go to church together or grasp each other the way my dad held that controller when he was losing. My mother was jealous how he and the game system has so much in common. The way they cheated, I grew up hating the player and the game. Let's fast forward a whole decade, 2 school transfers and 3 shelters after the divorce, and I can count on one hand how many times I've seen them, and all a Christian mother had to say was, CJ, it's okay. All you gotta do is pray, well, my Father, to whom I was assigned from heaven, how low should I hold your name? Did you pray on or pray for, Mom, as your kingdom came with clinic visits? Did you realize you shooting your shot at other women in front of your son would wound me the most? Let's pause. Because in 2020, I am 30. And I have 3 reasons why in my heart that man is truly forgiven. one wife, 2 kids. I can count on one hand how many times they've seen him. I've come to grips with letting go the fact that he is not a straight shooter. He taught me that sex can become a man's automatic weapon when he melee with any woman showing him a frag of attention. How many of the black boys gotta live this death match? Ain't they future? Ain't they watching? Ain't they waiting for the next generation of fathers to respond?
All right, all right, all right. Shout out to everybody watching there on YouTube. Miss Honey Bunny, I think, is on there. It's got a lot of comments. I love it. And everybody in Facebook world. Woohoo! All right. Judges, what you got for me? I got 1, 2. Khalil is working something out. He's doing business and working on his. All right. I don't even know what the face is. That's a 9? So creative. All right, from lowest to high, there's a 9. There's a 9.7 and a 9.9 for Curtis LeBron. 28.6 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. And keep your hands going for your next poet on the microphone, Jordan Bailey.
I want my funeral to be ghetto as fuck. I'm talking no casket, throw me in the back of a Pontiac Sunflower and drive me off into the sunset, swinging all the way. I want my funeral packed with friends and poets and friends who are poets and poets who shouldn't be poets and friends who really didn't like me while I was here, but now that I'm dead, feel the need to pay respect that I wasn't worthy of when I was alive. P.S. It's on site for a couple of you niggas at the pearly gates, y'all. My funeral got to be an experience. I'm talking Mentos and Coke or like a Smino verse. Like, it's gonna be niggas booming at my funeral. Like, tell her play Metro booming at my funeral. Like, beautiful morning, you're the sun in my morning bed. A beautiful morning. Yo, black folks mourn so beautiful, don't we? I want my funeral to go viral before my death does. Before my body becomes trending topic, before these bones start decaying on your timeline when a black boy dies. The headline, the hashtag, the body, all become intertwined into this internal tapestry of trauma with the rest of the bodies and headlines and hashtags and martyrs who were never asked if they wanted to be anything other than martyrs. So in the end, we're all just a bunch of broken branches in an eternal hanging tree. And me, well, I know death like black skin, no asphalt. I know I probably don't get to choose the way I die, but I would like to choose the way I'm remembered. And I don't want to be a mosaic of another modern day lynching. So when I go, take my funeral to the streets, but not like a protest, more like a block party, a parade, a celebration of all of those who survived as long as they could. I want my teammates putting together chapbooks of my unfinished poems. Call it Death Ain't Proof of Life or The Body Don't Give a Fuck About Your Hashtag. I want white women calling the cops on my service. We can call her something catchy, you know, like Funeral Felicity. And when they ask her while she did it, she'll say something like, well, this praise just be indicative of their ignorance. You see, even in death, he was what he was in life, a nuisance. Even now, he still take up too much space. And I feel like this is when my mom, dressed in something I gave her, like a Panthers jersey or grief, she would stand and she would tell the world that her son died the same way he lived, unwilling, but still fighting somewhere. I hope a hashtag and a headline wither themselves away from a body and a boy just can be remembered as a boy, because ain't that what we all deserve? To be remembered the way that we want to be remembered.
All right. Is everybody caught up on The Mandalorian? Oh, all right. Well, won't talk about that. Anybody Gangs of London? Listen, first of all, don't what me. Watch Gangs of London tonight. Like, get up and leave right now. Gangs of London is amazing. Gangs of London over Snowfall, Gangs of London over Power, Gangs of London over Top Boy, Gangs of London over Empire, Gangs of London over The Cosby Show, all right, I'm sorry. All right. It's a really good show. All right, judges, what you got for me? I got 1 score, 2, 3, 4. Hey, I love it. That's the direction we need to move in. All right, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. From lowest to high, there's a 9.6. There's a 9.7 and a fancy-ass 10. What do we got? 29.3 for the poet. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Keep your hands going for your next poet on the microphone, a poet named Superman.
Usually the month of May is a month of celebration for me. Usually I'm doing 31 daily things within this span of time to help me appreciate myself, to help me appreciate that I've been given the gift of life, life that most don't get to see, whether it's as much as I have seen or even the opportunity to see any at all. I wish that this month, this year, wasn't filled with so many body bags of tears, graves of anger. I wish I could have celebrated how I usually do, but I couldn't. You want reasons? Okay. 2 of them. 1, a pandemic. There was a virus spread that was detrimental to the survival of the human race, to the point where it was suggestively forced for me to stay home. And if I did leave my home, I had to cover my face so I didn't die from the sickness that had me worrying about my family's health, the sickness where I had thoughts of whether or not I'd see my friends again, a sickness that had my mental pushed so far into the valley of the shadow of death, I actually feared it. And not only that, 2, I'm guessing we forgot there was another pandemic that was still spreading simultaneously, and it also is a virus that's detrimental to the survival of the human race, to the point where I'm suggestively forced to stay home, where I want to cover my face so that I don't die from the sickness, this virus that has me worried about my family's health, a virus that sends thoughts to my psyche of whether or not I'll see my friends again, a virus that's pushed my mental so far into the valley of the shadow of death, I actually fear it. I don't know if I've ever been this afraid. Not afraid to die necessarily, but I'm afraid that it'll be my blackness that'll be the death of me. Although I'll say this to the death of me, I'm afraid that if I die just from being black, that in itself won't change a thing, that there will be grown black men and women and little black boys and girls taken from this world after me because of police, because of negligence, because of ignorance, because of racism, because none of it will ever stop after me. I heard a 12-year-old songbird of a black boy serenade in a silhouetted scream, "I just want to live," and I wept. Again, I had just wept a week prior for my King Messiah. My God had granted me my 34th year of life. I wept then because of the week leading up to it, and I also wept because almost 2 weeks prior, there were 2 men that were black like me that had their opportunity to celebrate life like me taken away from them. I still weep now. I weep for those that don't know how to weep, so they break things. They even burn buildings. They put themselves in harm's way just to get our point across, and I can't say that I blame them. I want to break things too. I want for the people that can't understand why we weep over lost lives to weep just like us, but I'm not an advocate for murder like you, racist, supremacist, stranger, neighbor, murderer, president. I will die before I'm like you. Maybe that's why you're trying to kill us all. You're afraid we'll become like you and kill you. I don't believe we will. We have a lot more of understanding the gift of life over here. We have so much more empathy for human life than you. We have a whole lot of love, and if I'm being honest, it's because of that. Even with the masses that we've lost, we will still live longer than you, and we will celebrate. Peace, pandemic, or violence, we've made it through so many things already. Why wouldn't we see and live and celebrate past May 2020? Change isn't coming anymore. It is here, and it is real. So if you're afraid, good. Now you feel what we're already used to.
All right, judges, 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 you thinking all you thinking, judges, what you thinking about? What's your score? All right, judges, what you got for me? Woo, there's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4. Is that a 6.9? Okay. We got a 9.4, we got a 9.5, and we got a 9.6 for the poet. That gives us a score of? After a 1-point time penalty. Boo the time penalty. All right. I know, we don't get to do that often, so it's a little shaky. It's a little shaky. 27.5. For those who've missed it, it's you rat bastard. You're ruining it for everybody, but it was well worth it. That's what we say after we boo. Again, that score was 27.5. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Keep giving me that energy right now. Coming up to the microphone, all dare.
To have connotations and cons that I'm shaken. I'm constantly shaken inside internally. I don't have any pros or positivities, anything positive to say. I don't have any good to give, and I don't have any greats to praise. For I am a snake and I am a slitherer. I will bite you and I will hurt you. I will burn and I will toast. I will take this whole thing down if I could, and I will say it and do it humbly, and I will do it with the most action, the most rage and the most hate and the most self-love. I never did it with self-love. I was never raised with a father that didn't have positivity in himself. My dad always looked at things negatively. He always took circumstances of what they were, never out to change. My mother left him, rightfully so. Because if you hit her once, you never hit her again. And I hate that he hit my mom because I never got her again. And I'd just like to have her back just one time. And I'd like to have her back so I can share with her these rhymes, these lines that I write all the time, everything that I wish that she could see in me. All that she doesn't want to see in me, all that I wish I can and cannot be. And I don't do it for the praise or for the sake of a mother. I do it for the praise and the sake of myself. I do it for my own health. I do it for my own heaven and my own hell. I do it to bleed and I do it to soar. I do it to soar and I do it to lie and to cry and to cry and to breathe in between my teeth. I can see so clearly. I can see so much pain in the room. But I'll tell you what, we're so different, and not rightfully so, because you're sand from a different beach. When you smile, you show different teeth. When you cry, you never sleep, and when you lie, you always weep. I don't have much else to say, so I'll just walk away now. Thank you.
Yes, judges, 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 judges. Judges, what you thinking it over. And do remember, as we depart, if you like to put some money in the box in the back of the room, that is our Pass the Hat now. So it's a donation box, and you can use the QRC code to make a donation to SlamCharlotte. It's awfully good things to do. All right, judges, what you got for me? I got 1, I got 2, I got 3, I got 4. Oh, I don't have 4, I only got 3. From lowest to high, there's an 8.2. There's an 8.6 and a 9.4 for All Dare. Give it up for the poet. Yeah, that gives us a score of 26.2 for the poet. Give it up for the poet and all the poets you've seen in the second round. Whew, we are getting ready to go into the third round, judges. I don't have to begin to explain to you about You guys have been consistent the whole night. Best set of judges I've had in my illustrious 47 years of hosting Slam Charlotte right here in Charlotte. And I'm just gonna throw out numbers and see what sticks. Our next slam will be, of course, in the new year, 2021. God willing, we start the year off right. Third Friday. Anybody? Well, you know, it's SlamCharlotte.com. 15th, very good. 15th in January, invite a friend. Hopefully, things will be better and more folks can come out. It will still be cold. You know, all that jazz. All right, so make sure you follow us on Instagram, Slam Charlotte, and of course, Twitter and Facebook and all that other stuff. So are you guys ready for your final round? Let me hear you say, oh, yeah. That's right, the final round is for all the marbles. It's for all of the chips, the cheese, the bread, the lettuce, and all that. I know I said it's big money, but I would be remiss not to tell you that it's Christmas bonus season, y'all. Of course, you know, during Christmas time, we like to up the ante a little bit. So on top of the money that we have, we've put up another 50,000 fake euros. So I saw all the hype rise and die in your eyes from right here. Merry Christmas to you folks in the back. All right, so the money's still the same. It still pays for whatever you need it to pay for. In this order, in the last round, you will see Curtis LaVon, Jordan Bailey, a poet named Superman, and Aldair. Are you ready for your final round? Let's go. Hear it up for Curtis LaVon.
To the man that marries the mother of my child, allow these stanzas to stand in for the awkward silences I have been yet to meet you, or even know your name. She refers to you as the guy I'm dating, which speaks less to her downplaying you and more to a lack of communication with me. We were together for 3 years. Had a daughter shortly after the first, which was the second I recognized that there's a difference between raising a seed and watering the plant. Scattered showers of clouded romance went down the gutter. Phone records, faucet water tapped. Tough conversations became easy text messages. Elevated arguments become dropped phone calls. Unheard feelings became status updates. The irony, technology makes it easy for relationships to disconnect. I hated her binge watching episodes of Snapped, while I binged on Snap validation at open mics rather than opening my heart to that woman. They say that one man's ignored call is another man's on one text away. But it takes away from the fact that I haven't met you to let you experience a portion of my corpse's devotion to show my daughter she's a queen. Ain't it hard enough trying to be a new dad in a new situation when the old man won't step aside so you can step in? Bro, I got you, because I honestly want the same for myself. I don't know you to call you a good man, but I trust my God in this situation. It don't change my role as daddy. It don't mean that we gotta be at odds. Shoot, my daughter may call me when she mad at you. I promise I won't bash you, because you and I are now the standard by which she dates. We are her first love, the warmest shoulder she can find in this cold world. We must prove that knights in shining armor exist in the home where her heart is. My daughter still believes in superheroes, y'all, which allows her imagination to make action figures out of my absence. So when we handshake, bro, that is the bridge between her identity and her dreams. Help me teach her. Her worth is more than money can buy. Make her a sanctuary in a home where she feels her temple is secure. Tell her when she's wrong, answering all the imaginative questions that keep her mind up at night. Love her absolutely out of this world. Open the door for communication. Pull a chair for insecurities. Let's make a steady date schedule so she can discern the etiquette of a gentleman, because superheroes breach gravity, break buildings, but real fathers break generational curses. And co-parenting is a double dose of love on top of my sample of DNA.
All right, judges, you are experts now. You're experts at judging. This is my NPR voice. The judges have been really consistent this whole evening. All things considered. They've been really great. Judges, what say you? Doom, 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 doom. I got one score. Doom, 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 doom. There's a second score. Tommy Martin's got the third score. Boom. From lowest to high, I got an 8.8. Then I got a 9.6 and another 9.6. All right, clap it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Keep that energy going for Jordan Bailey.
Whenever I tell someone I love you, it usually be a declaration of protection. Me saying, my body be plot device for your survival. I say I love you the same way I say I got you, how much money you need a ride, I believe in you, even on the days when you can't believe in you. When I say I love you to death, it means I will love you even after they take me, even after the streets have emptied and my name becomes trivia on your tongue. I will love from wherever black ghosts love from. My girlfriend tells me that she loves me to death. It sounds like she's forgiving me for all the things I haven't done yet, like letting them forget her name or expecting her to shoulder a legacy after I'm gone. And it's that word legacy that always be so heavy in the hands of pallbearers, always be so cold, always masquerades itself as love in obituaries. I think my love language be sacrifice. I'm all rubber bullet butterfly kisses. Like if I die, please let me die for something or someone. I took my girlfriend to see this movie, right? And it's a love story. It's a horror movie, but it masquerades itself as a love story, which is funny because love has always been the scary part. Like every time I told her I loved her, it felt like claws were crawling themselves out of my throat. When Breeze tells us he loves us to life, it always feels like he means to the end of his. Black folks always love scared with conditions to death, and I just want to love free for once. Like in the movie, like I don't really drink, but you make this burn beautiful. Like, if I die, please let me die right here in this graveyard surrounded by the ghosts of our ancestors. I want to love all velour tracksuit in the wind, flapping to a gospel hymn song, got a gold teeth, looking back at a woman who loves me as free as I love her. Like, yeah, baby, we can take flight right now. We won't have to hide our wings from nobody. So, at the end of this movie, the main characters are gunned down by police, and she asks him if he could be her legacy. Because, yeah, black women are supposed to be legacy and love and light and quiet casket drop, and black boy is always going to be legacy and love and light and open bullet wound, and love actually lives somewhere between the credits and the last scene instead of the entire movie. On the last page that I wrote this poem, my girlfriend leaves me a note telling me that she will love me more than I will ever know. And at that moment, I say, fuck the movie, fuck the credits, fuck the graveyard, fuck the fictional names that are still too hard for me to say. All that I will let there be is love.
All right, judges. Judges, you're working that thing on that. I heard Eminem dropped the whole album last night. Is it fire? Yeah. I'm going to be very honest. The last thing I heard Eminem do was diss that guy in 8 Mile. That was like the last Eminem song that I've readily wanted to hear. So, but you know, shouts out to Eminem. Shouts out to all the nominees for hip hop in the Grammy category being like over 30. Like that's special, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because that's a testament for anybody younger than that, 30, 35. That's really unheard of in hip hop. Any other music genre, you could be like 56 years old and be like, I'm going on tour, and it'd be successful. Let a 50-year-old rapper who's not Jay-Z say he's going on tour. Let me like, tour where, bro? You better go to the old folks' home. So shouts out to those rappers who are old enough and older who are still surviving in this game. It stretches the shelf life out for a young rapper, Jordan. Stretches the shelf life out for a young rapper. Because you're the only rapper that I know in the room, aside from, and I'm not sure, I got to listen to Otto's music first, but you sing, so that's different. So I'm pointing you out. Judges, what say you? From lowest to high, there's a 9.5. There's a 9.5. There's a 9.5. Across the board. 9.5. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. Keep your hands going for your next poet on the microphone. A poet named Superman.
Hey, you mind if I have a seat next to you? I've actually been meaning to speak with you. I've been seeking you. Through cotton candy clouds and supernovas, I really just wanted to have a seat next to you. As if you were that cool kid in school that everyone used to flock to. You know what? I have a confession. I used to mimic you. I wanted to be so much like you that I would bathe myself in the fragrance of your words so that anytime I spoke, it would smell like something you would say. You were completely okay with this. Your confidence was uncanny. Somehow you knew following you was the right thing for me to do. We were close once. Brothers even. Some might even say that we were the same person, an indestructible bond, impenetrable from the outside. The only way that this machine could have ever malfunctioned was if there was a glitch from within the wires, which is exactly what happened. I got distracted. There were so many lights flashing, dancing, burning my face. I can't even tell you what your light looked like. I can't even tell you what your look of disapproval in me was, for any time I looked in the mirror, your existence was missing. I need for you to listen to me now. This is more than just an apology, more than just a plea. This is 2 knees, 2 open palms, a face and a stomach on the floor. This is my soul crying, begging for more. This is for you. My ode, my sonnet, my song of sacrifice to you. Thank you for being the defibrillator to recharge my smile. I thank you for being the ink my pen bleeds out when my emotions clot. I thank you for being the lone voice of reason when I'm locked in a room full of screaming banshees. I thank you for showing me that you are real, that I'm not stupid for believing in you, but I might be a little bit for neglecting you. I really just want to have a seat next to you, that's all. No money-making ulterior motives. No dollars 1-800 number for this makeshift homemade holy water. No hooping and hollering, no judgmental calls, no putting nothing, nobody before you, just you. Please grant me the serenity to not allow hollow bottles, blooded blunts, and empty boxes of condoms to forever be my legacy. I just want to breathe peacefully again, and I know that starts with you and I going back to being friends. I can already see that you have my name etched on the back of the chair that sits next to your throne. So if it pleases you, I think I will take my seat now next to you.
All right, judges, you're thinking about that thing. December 22nd, next week, the writing workshop, the Atelier, starts at Brooklyn Grace. So if you are a writer or a poet or a rapper or a singer, whatever it is you do, that you want to workshop some of your stuff and your performance, come through 8 o'clock. You can go to the Blumenthal website and look up the Adelaide at the Grace and register there. I think there's like 10, maybe 9 slots left open, so out of the 25. So come through, and yeah, we'll work some stuff out. Like, it's literally the safest space you can come and work some stuff out. It's not an open mic. It's come and bring your weird stuff, and let's get it tight. Judges, what you got for me? From low to high, I've got a 9.5. I got a 9.7, a 9.7, and a 9.7. Give it up for the poet. Yes, yes, yes. There's 9.5 and then 2 9.7s. Don't start no shit in here, people. There's enough of you for me to fight everybody, so. All right, so 9.5 and 3 9.7. Sorry about that. All right, give it up for your poet. Yes, yes, yes. And I said a 9.5, and I said, again, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. And it's mostly in Kara. She knows what she saw. Listen, someone's been going to the gym and getting fined for the summer. I ain't gonna say who's been slimming it down, ready for the big poetry thing out in Dallas, Texas, so she can put the moves on somebody's son. But I'm just saying, someone gets a little fancy and dressed up and starts berating me about how many scores that they know I didn't see. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, your last poet coming up to the microphone. Give it up for Aldair.
Let's be honest, I'll put the lies aside and I'll get to the point. 2 truths and 1 lie. I'm an Arab, I'm a Terry, and I know you think I'm scary. I hate that you don't look at me and you get so confused. I hate that you look at me and you study me so well and you get so perplexed. Why do you have to look at me? Why do I have to get this off of my chest? Why can't I just be? Why can't I be free? I look at you and I envy. I look at you and I look at you so pitifully. I wish I could just be there and I wish I could just soar. I wish I didn't have to be there and I didn't have to be Aldair. I wish I didn't have to be so scared. I wish I didn't have to hate myself. I wish that I could get somebody who would be here by my side, a rock to hold, somebody to rock with through strongholds and weak points. I just need to get my point across. If on the tip of a pen, or if just off the top of my mind, I'd get it off just to be fine. And to find the time that I could be not so dwelling, to be not so stressing, to be not so neglecting. I'd like to do anything and everything that I could to be better. But somehow I'm addicted to the pain, and somehow I find myself caught in the rain, dancing and smiling. I used to look up to the universe as a kid, and I just feel that there was something out there in the cosmos that got me. I used to look deep into the space, but I mean deep space, where you saw past skies and you saw past stars, where you saw past the moon, you saw everything. And in that moment, I felt like I truly did have everything. Because the only thing cooler to me than space is music, and I would have my headphones in. And I kid you not, the best and worst thing that I ever did was all the self-harm that I constantly did. I would always, when I was like 17 or 18, put music in between my earbuds and blast it on full blast and shake a blade in between my teeth. I did it, and that was fun to me. I did it, and I used to drink shots of bleach like I was at parties with people. I did it, and I used to chuck myself with a belt till I fell asleep. But it wasn't asleep, it was really just passing out. And it wasn't passing out, it was peace-seeking. And it wasn't just peace-seeking, it was just my way of being. And I hated it. And I've hated me so.
All right, judges. Waiting on your score. Judges, what say you? You got those? I felt like that was a moment that he probably didn't want to hear about no scores, so I just decided not to say anything. See, this was going to be a real nice moment, but you're about to fuck it up, Tina. I thought I had put Ike away for 2020, but apparently eat this cake, so. All right, y'all give it up for all the poets you've heard and seen this evening. Shout out to all of our staff, everybody behind the sound, Rodney, everybody doing tech and making sure things are clean. Y'all appreciate that. Thank you to the judges. Y'all give it up for the judges one time. As we tabulate our scores, listen, I normally sing like a Christmas song this year, but I got somewhere to be, so I'm not gonna do it. But no, I do want to say, y'all, it has been an amazing year, given everything that we've been going through, all the pivots we've all had to make, and all the things we've all had to survive. I hope you find some solace in whatever you've gained and gleaned from what you've had to learn and overcome. I also hope that 2021 is way more prosperous for you than 2020 has been. And even if you've been prosperous, I hope it's even more so. Tommy Martin, I hope, and no, I'm not even saying I hope. I know work and financial whatever you need in 2021 will find you in full abundance. When that happens, come find me and let's go have some orange juice. Because I don't know if you drink. Do you drink? No? Orange juice it is. All right, so so we'll definitely have some OJ. Otto, man, say your website again. I mean your Instagram. Got you. So make sure you follow this young man. Let's keep him lifted up. Let's keep him motivated and aspiring to reach all of his dreams. Because we've all been that young and had a lot we wanted to do. And I know if I had someone behind me to help me keep motivated, it would have been a great deal. Not that I suffered, but I know what it is to be that young and want to do a bunch of shit. And it really helps when someone is like, yo, I got your back. So make sure y'all follow up and keep up with him. Shout out to my man Malchi. He is talking about the Poet Up podcast, which I'm a part of. I, and Jay Ward. If you have not caught an episode, it is great. It is hilarious. It gets really good 27 minutes in every single time. I promise you, every episode you can mark it. Like, here it goes, and it starts to turn. Esma. Yes, make sure you keep up Esma. She is a poet out of, where are you from? Houston? Oh, Houston. I thought you would have put an R in it. Houston, Texas. She's from Houston, Texas. She's also an amazing poet. And are you here now, or? Yeah, all right, okay. Well, what's your IG? Got you. Asthma since 97. So make sure you keep up with her and keep up with all of our poets. Let's find out who won this thing. Coming in fourth place with the 20s with a total score of 72.3. Give it up for Aldair, for sure. Shouts out to him. He came in and he just wanted to flex some poems. It's been a minute for him, so I'm glad he got a little bit of healing and some, get some stuff off his chest tonight. Coming in third place with a 28.9, a poet named Super with an 82.4 total. Poet named Superman. 82.4. That's what you're up. Yeah. Let me see. I'm just reading what I see. Don't. All right. Coming in second with an 84.9, Jordan Bailey. And coming in first place with a total score of 85.3, give it up for Curtis Levon. Y'all, these are your winners for December. We hope to see everybody in January. Listen, however you celebrate, and if you celebrate or do not, I hope your holiday season is full of at least joy and some peace and some balance and good health and COVID-free. Thank you all for being amazing human beings and showing up tonight. Thank you all out there in Facebook land and in YouTube world. As we like to part, we like to say, making your way in the world today takes everything you got. Making a break from all your worries sure would help a lot. Doom, 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 wouldn't you like to get away? Boom, 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 'cause sometimes you wanna go. Da 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 da. And they're always glad you came. Da da da. You wanna be where people see troubles are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. You wanna go where people know people are all the same. You wanna go where everybody knows your name. Thank you for knowing our name. We are Slam Charlotte. Merry Christmas!